What's up, YouTube? Good morning. 606 Garage here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. All right, going to put the Edelbrock carburetor on the Capri today. My spacer has come in, finally. As you recall, last weekend, this was a fail. That carburetor would not go because on this Capri, I had put the steel crossover tubes on this intake that would be on an EFI car. Well, the Holly's narrow. It's no problem. The Edelbrock was wide, and the linkage on the passenger side was hitting those tubes and not letting the carburetor sit down. And if you opened it up full throttle, it just kept raising the carburetor up. I'm hoping this 2-inch spacer will cure that problem. It's got a 1-inch on it now. That being said, I'd made mention that we was going to do heads. I'd posted, like a sneak peek video, and I said I was going to do heads on this car. All the intentions in the world until this morning. I woke up, it was raining. Well, the plan was I was going to throw the Edelbrock on this car. We was going to go take it down the road, see if we got some kind of improvement on it. It just rained. The roads are wet, and it'll be probably till tomorrow till they're dry good enough to give it a fair shake, So I'm going to put the carburetor on now. We're not going to do the heads this weekend. Might do them next weekend. But what I want to do before I put the heads on, I want to convert this car to manual steering. Now, I watched a decent video where they done a manual rack out of a power steering rack. And it's pretty involved. But it's simple enough. It's just time consuming. And I'm going to do that. Now, I have a rack here. I have a 79 Mustang, power steering rack. I'm not going to do that to this car, its rack, because this rack in the car is excellent condition. Tight as a tick. I mean, it's an excellent condition. Everything's in good condition on steering on this car. I'm going to remove it all because this is a street car. Like I said, I'm going to convert it to manual. I'm probably going to end up putting the power steering back on after we're done piddling with the car, playing with it, and seeing how fast we can get it to go. This is going to be kind of like this is going to be the car that I go to car shows and stuff in. I know the car looks rough, but honestly, the car is getting a little bit of traction, and people are starting to recognize the car right off the bat. I mean, it's kind of unique. White, orange trim. It's just got the cheap Jegs wheels on it. It's recognizable, So when people go to a car show, and everybody's the same way, I feel. You walk through, you see a car. Hey, I know that car. It's kind of cool to walk. You go out of town somewhere and you see something you recognize. Well, I'm just going to keep the car as is. Other than I'm going to try to paint the front bumper on it and whatever and make it look a little bit better. I'm going to put this carburetor on, and then after I get done with it, get it to where it's idling right there, because there's really no adjustments. It's mainly just idle, and if it's jetted right, it's jetted right. If it's not, it's a do-over. So I'm going to get this on here. I got to redo the fuel line because the fuel line goes into the back passenger side of the carburetor versus the Holly goes into the front driver's side of the carburetor, so I've got to redo that. No big deal. But I am keeping everything to where I can go back to this Holly if I want to. This is actually a really good carburetor. It works good. I had to rebuild it. I put it on the car and everything seemed great. Next thing you know, it kind of went to crap on me. And basically, it had just sit and had some junk in it that finally moved around and started stopping everything up. Cleaned up, redone, new gaskets, new power valve, and this thing runs good. So other than that, I'm going to get started on this. If y'all want to watch, I'll put you on time lapse. Ollie's off. It's almost not even worth time lapsing. Man, it's 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Alright. Just leave that bottom gasket there. Ain't hurt nothing. Of course, that one's stuck. Y'all know how I like to use anti-seize. And it definitely looked like I forgot to put it on the last ones. Alright. Spacer is on. Let's see what happens. Everything is clear. This is great news. I will say one thing. Whew. I ain't got much thread for the bolts. At all. I might be slightly worried about this. Oh Lord. So the studs they give me are just about too short.
For this.
And they give me some pretty short nuts. You just gotta be careful sometimes. Now, I bought this spacer off Amazon, and I want to think that it probably didn't cost 20 bucks. So, you know, shame on me. Be careful when you put these, tighten these down. You know, you can warp a base of a carburetor and this is pretty much garbage. Now there's a little forgiveness here just because of the height. Vacuum advance hooked up, gotta have that. Carburetor is on. That plug for this. Now, I will say this is going to be different. And I'll figure out something for the choke. Perfect. Now, let's see, before I go too much farther. I think the idle was definitely pretty high on this thing. Now this car here does not have the kick down for the Ford automatic. This is definitely going to be a manual shift situation. I specifically bought this air cleaner for this car, and it's going to stay with this car. And it's going to still work. Thank God. But I hope there ain't no hood clearance problems. That definitely raised her up. Yeah, that definitely raised it up. And it is definitely sticking up above the hood some. Okay, we will see. Well, that turned out to be another fail. Not 100%, the carburetor's on. I don't have the right attachment for the throttle cable. I'm gonna order one. And I need the swivel fuel line for the back. This little fella right here. I need to kick down and towards the back. Thought I had one. Like I said, 6P rule. That's what my best friend always says, 6P. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. And today we have some piss poor performance. I can actually get this thing running. I thought about drilling that carburetor out and using the one off the Holly. I just got to open it up like a 30 seconds of a thousandth or something like that. It isn't much. And I may just go ahead and do that and try to get this thing running and just run a rubber hose over to the existing fuel inlet. Will not be able to run the air cleaner that way. But, you know, whatever. It might get it running. I am going to go ahead and start on this power steering rack, taking it down and try to get it cleaned up, scrubbed up the best I can, take it to the car wash, whatever I got to do. I got to get disassembled first. I got to see what it's going to take it apart. I might not even be able to do this either. I mean, I am really striking out here lately. But I think I'll get to hear this thing run. I might fiddle with it for just a little bit longer. And if I do get ready to fire it up, I'll be back. At least just to see what it's going to do. But I will not drive it like that. That's just super, super temporary. That'll let me get it adjusted. at least let me get it to where I can pull it in and out, because I got to pull my pickup truck in here and change the oil and stuff in it. And I got a few things I got to get it ready for a small little trip. But yeah, another fail, kind of. Let's get on this power steering.